Oh, you've heard of overbooked hotels. You've heard of overbooked airplanes. Have you ever heard of an overbooked cruise ship? Plus, big news out of Florida, where the news always seems to be. We're going to talk about that. And you, yes, you, could be asked by Royal Caribbean to go on a free cruise. Let's talk about everything right now on Island Time. Welcome back to Island Time, and oh my goodness, there's so much to talk about today. I almost went live because of all the information. But let's take care of some housekeeping business first. Tomorrow night, yes, that's right, Thursday night, you and me have a date. We are going live at 7 o'clock Central Time. We're going live to discuss cruising, a little bit of news, but mostly interaction with all of our Islander community. I can't wait for it. Our live sessions are always a blast. We hope that you will join us tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Central Time. Be there. Also, we're waiting on September and October news from Carnival Cruise Lines. They hinted at it. We really thought it would be out yesterday. It's been delayed. I think it's because of the reality we have right now with COVID and the new variant, and the numbers continue to rise where I live. It's insane. But we hope we have one very, very soon. When we have news on September or October, that is cruises, that's ships, itineraries, protocols, we will have everything broken down for you. But how about the news today? There are several people that I know personally and that I know through Facebook and just being friends on Facebook that are going on the Carnival Horizon on July the 18th, on July the 24th, and they have been contacted by Carnival today, some of them yesterday, and basically Carnival said, how bad do you want to go on this cruise? And they said, oh no, please don't tell me that we're canceled again. Carnival said, no, you're not canceled unless you want to be. That's right. Carnival has called to see if some people on these cruises, I know of the Horizon, July 18th to the 24th, there may be others, but they've called to see, will they voluntarily cancel their cruise, move their cruise date to another date, maybe something close. They would receive a full refund back, plus they would go on that new cruise for free. Does it sound like a good deal? Someone that cruises in 10 days, you're looking at him. If they called this phone right here, I would say no. I'm sorry. I need to cruise in 10 days. I'm not giving up my cabin. I'm sorry. No one that I know of personally has taken this deal. But yes, Carnival has overbooked some of their rooms. And there's a reason for this, okay? They've managed it very, very well. But you know the exemption process that families are going through right now on ships. They're waiting to see if their kids can cruise. If their kids can't cruise, maybe the parents go by themselves or they cancel the cruise. And basically what has happened on certain sailings is that they've got to a place where 95% of the ship is not vaccinated, and they have to have 95% vaccinated. And so the way Carnival is doing it is literally calling passengers to see if they want to rebook. And I do not know anyone. I don't know any of you Islanders that would take that deal. If it was a week later, maybe. But we are going July 24th on the Vista, and there's, knock on wood, there's hopefully nothing that's going to stop us. But I thought that was very, very interesting. And what it's looking like is capacity levels. We thought they started off higher than we thought they would. They're at about 70% in July. We thought they'd be closer to 60%. And then we thought they would rise to 70% in August. But with the new Delta variant, with the caseload increasing, especially among unvaccinated people, but even vaccinated people, of course, are test positive and they do contract COVID. And Carnival may be wanting to stay at that 70% that they're at right now. Maybe some of these cruises toward the end of July, maybe they bumped it up to 75%, and now they're wanting to get it back down to 70%. And so there's all kinds of scenarios that could have happened, but we do know Carnival on some sailings think that they are overbooked and they're trying to fix it. It's interesting to see, and we're going to keep our eyes on it to see what happens. Another story, Remember When. Alan Jackson has a great song called Remember When. Remember when Norwegian Cruise Line said, Florida, we don't need you. Because if you remember, and I know you do because you follow our videos, you've seen our videos. If not, watch them. And I invite you right now to subscribe to our channel. Come be an Islander. Come be part of the community. We would love to have you in this group. We are a family of cruisers that have fun together, interact together, and share life together. That's the way it goes right here on Island Time. We want you to be here. Let me read you this quote from when Florida passed in, the state government of Florida and the governor, Ron DeSantis, signed in the vaccine passport ban. Basically, a business cannot ask an individual to show their vaccine in order to do business with an entity. Here's what Norwegian Cruise Line said in response to that several weeks ago. At the end of the day, cruise ships have motors, propellers, and rudders, and God forbid we can't operate in the state of Florida for whatever reason. Then there are other states that we do operate from, and we can operate from the Caribbean for ships that otherwise would have gone to Florida. That's Frank Del Rio from Norwegian Cruise Lines, basically saying, we don't have to go to Florida. We don't have to be in Florida. We can go other places. To that, Governor DeSantis responded to Del Rio, and he said, you may remember this, Norwegian's not one of the big ones, cruise lines, by the way. He adding that other cruise lines are ready to go. You probably remember that, and since then, we've seen a lot of action from Florida. We've reported on the action from Florida. We know where we stand, but Norwegian's having a change of heart. They said, you know what? We do need Florida. We do need a cruise out of Florida. We need to service the passengers out of Florida. There's a big population out of Florida. There's so many ports that you can visit, and it's cost efficient for cruise lines to go out of Florida. So they have filed a lawsuit challenging Florida's ban on their requiring proof of the COVID-19 vaccine. They've challenged it because they need Florida. They're asking for a preliminary injunction. Oh, that word sounds familiar. We heard that word in another case involving Governor Ron DeSantis in the state of Florida versus the CDC. But here we go. A preliminary injunction that would suspend that legislation, which is in law right now, and it would suspend it. So the state cannot ask for it. Now, cruise lines are getting around this. We've already seen Royal Caribbean with the Freedom of the Seas. They require you that you show your vaccine several days, if not a week in advance, and then you have to volunteer that information when you check in on embarkation day. And if you volunteer that information, then you get to do all these different things. If you don't volunteer the information, or you're not vaccinated, maybe you are and you don't volunteer it, maybe you're not vaccinated, then you have some stipulations on your cruise. That's how Royal Caribbean is getting around this. Norwegian doesn't want to fight it. They just don't want it there at all. And so the law that's in place now forbids asking customers for their documentation. And if you do, it's a fine of $5,000 per passenger. Whew. We'll see what happens here. I'll read three quotes here. Three quotes from Norwegian on this decision. Despite the ongoing global pandemic and the accelerating spread of the Delta variant, Florida continues to prohibit us from requiring vaccine documentation, which we believe would enable us to resume sailing in the safest way possible. That's one quote. They can resume operation. There are two ways they can resume operation, and Norwegian knows that. They can go vaccinations, 95% passenger, 98% crew, and do something like Royal Caribbean has done on volunteering the information. Or they can have simulated sailings, like Royal Caribbean has done. They want to go to court. Quote number 2. We believe Florida's prohibition is on the wrong side of the federal law, public health, science, and is not in the best interest of the welfare of our guests, crew, and the communities we visit. Therefore, we have reluctantly turned to the courts for the relief. I don't know. You're not the court. Remember, has already ruled for the state of Florida and the CDC. And the CDC's overreach is what the judge said. Overreach into the state of Florida, into the cruise industry. They've already ruled that. So I don't know if they're going to have a chance with this. Number 3. Today, we asked the U.S. District Court of the Southern District of Florida to invalidate Florida's prohibition and to grant us a preliminary injunction to allow our company to resume sailing with stringent health and safety protocols to minimize, to the greatest extent possible, further spread of COVID-19. Where's this going to go? Well, we've seen where it's gone. It sits in court for a long time. I don't know if they're going to get a favorable decision here. I don't see how they can get a favorable decision here, especially on the case that we've seen with the state of Florida versus the CDC. And the CDC is trying to, they're trying to appeal this to the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals and have had no such luck. Judge Merriday did not overturn his decision and grant a stay for the CDC's conditional sail order. And so far, the 11th Circuit has not picked up the case. So I don't know if really Norwegian can win here. They know the way forward, and they obviously need Florida. So let's see what happens here. Another story here, and it makes all of us excited. We'll see what happens with it. But Royal Caribbean announced today that it needs you and me on its test cruises. That's right. If you signed up for its Royal Caribbean's test cruises, I think it was like at the very beginning of the year, January, February, something like that. They say that over 350,000 people have signed up for these cruises. And we've sat here, we haven't really thought much about it. We haven't heard anything about it until today. They say that today, starting today, they are going to select individuals from this group, this population of 350,000 people, to go on test cruises. Me, you. Maybe. We'll see what happens. We'll see. These test cruises, bad news is, 2 nights. 2 nights. Would you travel from where you're at, where you stay, where you live, to go on a test cruise, a free test cruise for 2 nights? Maybe. Some of our population for sure would. I hope you islanders would. You received a free 2-night cruise. And these ships, of course, are testing their protocols to see whether or not their protocols are satisfactory to the CDC, and they would work in the event of emergency. If you remember the Freedom of the Seas, the CDC was on board. That ship, of course, did great. It passed the test cruise. It is sailing right now with paying passengers. Now, the Freedom of the Seas and the Serenade of the Seas have completed their test sailings, and there are five ships looking to do their test cruise in the next several weeks. They are the Alert of the Seas, July the 27th, from Port Canaveral. The Symphony of the Seas, August 1st, from the Port of Miami. The Independence of the Seas, August the 1st, out of Galveston. The Mariner of the Seas, August 11th, from Port Canaveral. The Oasis of the Seas, August the 27th, from Cape Liberty. Those 5 are confirmed. They're looking for volunteers to go. You will be selected and communicated with via email if you are so chosen. If you are chosen, please let us know right here at Island Time. We would love to share it with our community. Now, more test sailings are expected to be soon, including the Ovation of the Seas and, yes, the Odyssey of the Seas. We are looking for those dates. A lot of news, and there are all kinds of things happening. We are following all sorts of news, both on board cruise ships right now. If anything breaks, we will have it for you. That's all I'll say about that. And, of course, what's going to happen in future months. We are starting to pack here at this house. I'm telling you, Amanda's getting after it. She's a teacher, so she's doesn't have anything better to do. We're almost packed. We are so looking forward to going on the Vista in just over a week. We can't wait to see you live tomorrow. We will have a video before then tomorrow. If something breaks today, we will have another one today. Like I said, we're keeping our eyes on some things. I can't say much more because everything has got to, of course, be confirmed. We'll see what happens with a couple things we're watching. We are so thankful that you're here, that our community is growing, and that we're growing together in company, community, and fellowship. Until later today or tomorrow, we will see you next time on Island Time.